But at the other side of this, I have to sit back and say to myself, where is my vision, my time, my energy going to be spent? And what are the metrics that say that I'm moving forward? I know what you're thinking. What would Ziggy do? Hi, everybody. Dave Bazanko here, and today we're going to be talking about how you can develop more resilience. Now, have you ever wondered how to develop more resilience? Is resilience even something that you can develop, or is it something inherently that we're all born with, or maybe not? Well, the truth of the matter is resilience is just another muscle. And if you train it properly, you will develop the strategies you need to not only overcome adversity, but see adversity coming and avoid it in the first place. That to me is the true definition of resilience, not bouncing back, but actually learning from your mistakes so that you can avoid those same mistakes in the future and you can always be moving forward. So let me just share a quick story with you about where I started to develop my resilience blueprint from. And I'll go back to, let's say 1990. Now, I know in these before and after pictures, the before should always be on the left, but in this case, this is me on my wedding day with my beautiful wife, Robin. We got married in 1990, and 34 years later, this is us today. This is the future that we had envisioned for ourselves. We're young, we're happy, we're young at heart, we're happy, we're vibrant, we're healthy, we're doing things that we did when we were 25 years old, and we plan to keep on doing that. Now, how is it that we've been able to survive a marriage for 34 years when a lot of marriages fail? I can't speak for everybody else, but when I try to explain it to people, I'm very clear. I just say, when Robin and I got married, we had a very clear vision of who we wanted to be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years down the road. We want to be best friends. We want to remain best friends. And we both want to be healthy and happy. And the thing is, as I went through my journey becoming an Ironman, Robin started to feel like she was getting left behind. And the beautiful part about that experience was that not only was I taking a leadership role in our future health and well-being, but then Robin started to realize, I want to be a part of that too, just not as an Ironman. And so she found her own ways to start investing in herself, both through exercise that she loves doing and through better nutrition. So today we push each other to eat better, think better, move better, all those great things that are going to lead us to that person we aspire to be. And I like to think in this picture in 1990, we were both looking ahead as to who we were going to be down the road. And I think right now we're very pleasantly not surprised, but happy with where we are. So, things started out with a very clear vision for us. Now, trust me, having two kids, having, multiple business failures, business successes, riding that roller coaster ride of professional jobs, the adversity that comes with that, and raising a family, man, there have been many ups and downs. But what's kept us together, what's kept us through all of that is this shared vision of the people we want to be and the future that we're building together. And I always say, I look back at the proof, like pictures like this of us having just the best time in one of our favorite places in the world, Lake Muskoka, this past summer. So what I'm going to share with you now is a bit of a process that I use. And I know I've sort of let the cat out of the bag a little bit here, but let me just jump in and talk about my VIP blueprint. Now, let me just say something. There is true power in resilience. It is something that you either display vibrantly or something that you sort of lack and feel like you're sort of stuck in life. If you've ever felt like you're stuck in life, that's okay. Even resilient people feel stuck sometimes too. But the thing is, resilient people have a strategy, have a process for understanding that life is a sliding scale. How you feel about your life is a sliding scale. Sometimes you're high, sometimes you're low, but just like a great professional athlete, you want to maintain somewhere in the middle where you're like, what, high or low, I'm going to maintain this level of enthusiasm or feeling about moving forward in life. And that's going to help see me through. Now, let's jump into it. My blueprint for resilience is this process of having a very crystal clear vision, and then assume the identity of the type of person that's going to lead you towards that, realizing that vision. And then asking yourself, where's the proof? Where's the metrics that show that I'm moving forward every day? That's one thing that I think a lot of people miss out on. Sure, they've got a vision of, they dream about doing something one day or being a certain type of person one day, but without a process, that identity of becoming a type of person, that never comes to reality. And then if you're never checking the metrics to see if you're actually moving forward or falling behind, decades can slip away. And what was once youthful optimism can get replaced with a lot of anxiety. So how do we tackle this? How do we make this tangible and a reality for the average person? Well, what I've learned, and even talking to my wife, is that I'm a visionary and she's not. She has a difficult time looking 2 or 3 years down the road because she doesn't necessarily enjoy her job. So, feeling like she's stuck in a job that she doesn't like, it makes her very hard for her to think about her future. Whereas myself, I love what I do and I'm a visionary. I can see the future and I talk to Robin about our future all the time. And that's what helps her buy into the future that we're building together. But just like Martin Luther King, he had a dream, not a plan. He had a dream speech that he gave. And people bought into that dream. They bought into that vision of a future world where Black and white kids would play together, holding hands in a park, where that would be the norm. And that's the world that we're all trying to create, where people are seen as equals. And people didn't follow Martin Luther's dream for him. They did it for themselves. That's what got them invested in the process of trying to move our world forward. Now, put this in context of maybe the business you work for. If you work for a business that's got a very clear vision of the future, if you want to engage your employees and have them be more resilient at work and how they feel about their jobs, well, show them how they fit into that vision for the future. Show them how even the smallest things that they do every day make a dramatic impact or even a significantly small impact on taking one step closer to realizing that vision. It's when we feel like we're all moving together forward that true resilience really starts to take form and people start to buy into it mentally. They're like, hey, I'm a part of this. I'm important. I'm meaningful. See, not everybody who has a visionary process for themselves can see that, but they can certainly buy into something that is articulated crystal clear by a great leader at a great company. So the first step of creating resilient employees is having a great leader who can be very clear about the vision and then be very clear about how everybody else can buy into that vision together. Now, I talk about process or identity. This is a great poster. I had it back in the 80s, one of the original Nike posters that got put out, and it epitomizes what I'm talking about as far as process. See, the thing is, you have to master the identity of the type of person who shows up every day. That's step one. If you want to write a book, the goal isn't to write a book. The goal is to become the type of person who writes every day. If you want to run a marathon, the goal isn't to run a marathon. The goal is to become the type of person who runs every day and who does that in a systematic way so that you can sustain it and not get hurt. I think that's the difference. Is people tend to throw themselves at passion projects, and if they don't find success immediately, it falls by the wayside. That adversity of not realizing your vision immediately and not being able to delay that gratification is a problem with people who aren't resilient. Resilient people know that it's a process. They're going to have to go through some ups and downs. They're going to have some iteration to get there, to realize that vision, especially if it's a great vision. Now, when I talk about the proof, this is actually what an Ironman does every November, December. It's November now, and I'm getting my map out for the year, and I map out 52 weeks a year, how I'm going to train. I think about my vision is, what race am I going to do next year? And I map back all the weeks, and I start building a training plan that goes week by week, month by month, slightly increasing volume every month, every week, to eventually get me to the point from where I am today to the point where I can do a race or an Ironman and do it safely and not burn out or get injured. So there's method to that madness. And this is an example of something an Ironman would do, but think about you in your personal life. If you've got a crystal clear vision of a place that you absolutely have to get to, you just don't know how long it's going to take or what the exact process is going to look like, but you got an idea. So what do? Well, here's what you do. We start with the scientific method. This is the easiest way to iterate an idea. And it starts with making an observation, asking a bunch of questions, creating a problem statement and saying, I want to have this type of job. So what do I need to do? If I get this extra training, if I learn from this person, if I experience this certain thing, then this other outcome is going to happen. So then you go out and you test that hypothesis. You look at the data, you analyze it, and then you make some conclusions. Do I need to iterate? Do I need to make changes? And you test and you repeat. So at the end of the day, if you think of the things that might be holding you back in life, where you feel like you may not be really, really strong and resilient, I tend to think there's 4 pillars. There's our professional life, which is obviously our jobs. There's our personal life, which are the people we surround ourselves with. There's our physical life, which is how do we eat and exercise and move and sleep? What are the things that we're doing to ensure against our well-being into the future? And then there's our financial life, where are we achieving the financial success that we wanted to achieve? In each one of those areas, you can either feel like you're moving forward, you're stuck, or you're falling behind. And I guarantee you, if you take this VIP process and you overlay that over each one of those areas, what's going to happen is that you're going to find yourself in a situation where you now have the ability and a blueprint to go, hey, professionally, maybe I want to achieve a certain degree or an accreditation in my profession. Maybe it's a sales goal. Whatever that might be, go ahead and have a crystal clear vision of what it is you're trying to achieve. Once you can articulate that and say, this is what I want to achieve. I hope I'll have it by this date, but you know what? Reality has a funny way of getting in the way. You may not be able to achieve it by the date that you had set for yourself, but if you keep investing in the process, eventually you will get there. So create a clear vision for yourself, then start assuming the identity of the type of person who would make that reality come true. And then look for the metrics that you can check to follow to make sure that you're achieving your goals. So if it's, again, a professional goal, maybe it's completing a course, right? Part of the vision for me as a content creator here on YouTube is I've got to take courses to learn how to create better content. So I have a vision that I'm going to have this YouTube channel that's going to have 1 million subscribers attached to it. And I'm going to be delivering excellent value, hopefully, through these videos. But at the other side of this, I have to sit back and say to myself, where is my vision, my time, my energy going to be spent? And what are the metrics that say that I'm moving forward? So again, if you complete a course, check the box, you're moving forward. You get 100 subscribers this week, check the box, you're moving forward. If not, you need to make changes. You need to look, iterate, and find how you can improve your process. So that's how you might use this process in a professional setting. Personally with friends, hey, ask yourself this. When I was training as an Ironman, I had to get a new set of friends who were all open water swimmies because none of my friends did that. And when I had a vision that I would be part of this community of Ironman triathletes, I envisioned how great that would feel and how wonderful that would feel. I had no idea what that process would look like to get there. I circumstantially got invited by one person and another into a group of Ironman triathletes who all went for open water swims together, and they welcomed me in with open arms. They started believing in me before I even believed in myself because they had lived that place where I was in at that moment in time, right? They met me where I was in my journey and didn't make me feel bad that I was nervous or uncomfortable. They just gave me unconditional support because they knew I would get there. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, are the circle of friends that I'm currently working with every day, are they helping me move closer to my vision, or are they holding me back and keeping me further behind? So again, use that 30,000 foot view to think of how can I use the VIP process just within my own personal relationships. and then learn how to navigate those relationships using that process. Think about your finances. Are you getting closer to your financial goals? If not, look at the process. Am I investing like your vision might be, hey, I want to have $1 million in the bank. Well, if you're making X amount of dollars, every week on a paycheck, how much are you paying yourself first? That's the first question I would ask. Are you investing in yourself first, or are you investing in all your bills? Invest in yourself first. Find an investment vehicle that works for you, that is acceptable to your risk level, and then start investing in that income-bearing asset for yourself first. You do that, everything else will take care of itself. If you don't do that, you're not going to have a nest egg to retire on when the day comes. So again, with your financial resilience, create a clear vision. What's the number? Write it down. What's the number you need to have that's going to make you feel comfortable? And then ask yourself, what's my process? What's my identity as an investor to get there? And then watch the numbers. Are your investments accruing? Are they getting larger and larger and closer towards trending towards reaching that goal? Or are you stuck? Or are you completely falling behind? And if so, what's your iterative process to come back and say, what changes do I need to make? So, we talked about finances. We talked about your personal relationships. We talked about your professional relationships. Well, what about your physicality? In my mind, I want to be youthful and healthy and happy right into my 80s and 90s and beyond. So to do that, I have to invest in the type of person who's going to feel that way when they're 80 and 90. I don't buy into getting old and being uncomfortable and being sick and all that crap. I don't buy into it. If I invest in myself every day, the hypothesis is if I invest in myself every day, then I will have good physicality moving forward. My wife has bought into that process as well because she has seen the changes in my life, and I've inspired her and people around me to make similar changes. And now I'm seeing that my friends, I've got my new friends that I've met through Ironman, but I've got my existing friends. Some of them want to come along with me, which is really cool. It's great to be the leader in that little group, that little community. So when you think about the VIP Resilience Blueprint, it is a tactical, practical strategy that you can use every single day in every facet of your life. As a matter of fact, if you can think of an area where that doesn't apply, where that process wouldn't improve your current situation, leave a comment below. I would love to get into a conversation with you to help you use this strategy to navigate whatever minefield you're trying to get around right now. But I will tell you that resilience is a muscle. Like any other muscle in your body, it needs to be developed. And if you use this process, remember, VIP, vision, identity, and proof. And be willing to iterate if the proof doesn't say you're moving forward. I really hope that helps help you develop more resilience in your life. And yeah, I just, I really, really, truly am passionate about this. It works, it works, it works. Please reach out to me in the comments if you'd like to learn more. Have a great day.